Yo, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another Walten Files teaser video. In today's video we'll be discussing the most recent teaser that has come out on Twitter by Martin Walls on Patreon recently as well. So there is one specific teaser, there's a HD version and a non-HD version of it that I did see on Twitter, but it was also released on Martin's Patreon. So I will be talking about that in today's video. So let me know what you think of this teaser in the comments below. Hope you do enjoy. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you like the Walten Files. Let's get straight into the video. So the teaser in question is this one right here, which is 100% Rosemary's kill scene, and I cannot explain how scared I am to see what is actually gonna happen during this scene in episode 5 of the Walten Files, because it is a scene that by far is probably the most gruesome in the entire series, especially when you combine the scene in episode 2 and the scene in episode 3 together. It is a pretty gruesome scene. Like, the screams are absolutely traumatizing. I've always found that when it comes to episode 3, there's so many different scenes that can kind of just show really good horror elements in the Walten Files. One obviously being Charles's death scene. I've said that for ages, that's probably the scariest scene in the series in my opinion. But the screams in episode 3 are a very close second. And also, I just wanted to show the fact of how gruesome this teaser actually is. But it's very gruesome. I do find that there is a lot of, red liquid and red all over this teaser. There also seems to be a little bit of bone as well that I can see in the bottom right hand corner. When you're seeing the photo, you'll know what I mean. But it's very clearly Rosemary's body, and it is terrifying. I cannot explain how disturbing this scene actually might be in episode 5. It is actually scary to see how gruesome they're actually going to make it. Are they going to hold back? The Walten Files has never really held back, let's be real. We literally saw that with Susan's kill scene, but I feel that when it comes to Charles's death and Rosemary's, it's that they're just that little bit more gruesome. Like, Susan got her neck snapped, that's been, seen in so many horror films. But actual dismemberments, I don't know if they're going to be able to show that on YouTube. Let me know what you think of that in the comments below. But when it comes to this scene, I think they're going to have to do it in somewhat of a shadow form for YouTube to accept it. I don't know. I'm actually quite worried when it comes to this sort of fact, because I don't want the Walten Files to hold back. But in a way, as someone watching it probably on stream, it's not the greatest if we just see, the actual scene just go down, behold our eyes. But in a way, I feel that Martin and everyone at the Walten Files team is talented enough to display this scene in, one, an effective way, and 2, in a way that won't get the video demonetized. However, when you think of it with episode 2, technically you see it. Not necessarily, but episode 2 is quite gruesome. Same with episode 3, so you never know. They might just go for it, you just never know. It's kind of scary thinking that if they go for it, how traumatizing that scene might actually be. Because the way I look at it, right, with this teaser alone, add on to the fact that if we see the kill, and then added on to the screams that we're probably going to hear like we saw in episode 3, this scene might just go down in history as the most traumatizing scene in all of, this sort of mascot horror, analog horror genre. And I would not be surprised if that is the case, because if there's anyone to, put their name down in history as a scary scene in, analog horror, it would definitely be the Walten Files. And I cannot explain the fact that how, detailed this teaser actually is. Like, this teaser is, like, when you look at the start of the Walten Files, it was a cartoony, cool animation style. When you look at episode 4 and episode 5, by the looks of it, how episode 5 is probably going to look, it's going to be completely different. It's literally gone from an analog horror to more just plain horror videos. Like, I don't think you can really necessarily call the Walten Files a pure analog horror series anymore, because when it comes to the Walten Files, yes, it has analog horror elements, but it's like not an analog horror all the way through. Definitely 1 to 3 would be considered analog horror, but episode 4 I wouldn't consider analog horror in my opinion. Obviously it has similar elements, but I don't think I would consider episode 4 as analog horror in my opinion. But ultimately, this teaser is horrifying. It's super gruesome. God only knows what's actually going to happen in the scene. I feel like this scene is actually going to be traumatic. I am not looking forward to seeing this, but yeah, it definitely will be a gruesome scene. God knows what's actually going to happen. To my knowledge, the Walten Files 5 is coming out on the 24th of April. That could have been an April Fool's joke, so I'm not going to say we've got a confirmed date, because let's be real, on Twitter, April Fool's Day is not the most fun place. I saw a lot of things with the Walten Files that did actually get me, so when it comes to it, I just hope this takes as long as possible to actually be as perfect as possible. I hope I hope there is no release date right now, just for the fact that I know it takes a long time to create something as good as the Walten Files actually is. So I'd rather them just take their time with it and see how it goes. But ultimately, that is the teaser that has come out recently on Martin's Patreon. Let me know what you think of this teaser in the comments below. I'd be really intrigued to see what you guys think of it, because for me, it is quite gruesome for a teaser, so I don't know, but let me know what you think in the comments below. Subscribe if you like the Walten Files and leave a like down below. I really appreciate all the support in the last few videos, so let me know what you think of this teaser in the comments below, and I hope you all have the most amazing day. Stay safe and peace. First shot of this episode. Tammy picks this house.
Oh, what about that one?
Now, if you ask me, that is the, worst house you can pick. It has wallpaper on the outside.